Been licked by a cat and felt the little rough tongue? Well, I found out something. The cat's tongue is a very amazing piece of equipment. If you looked at its surface under a microscope, you'd see something similar to this. For a cat's tongue is made up of mounds and tiny little combs. That's a fact. Yes, little mounds and spikes all over the surface. You see, the spikes act as a comb when the cat licks and cleans itself, and also as a liquid conveyor when a cat laps up milk or water. Yes, isn't nature great? Bet you didn't really know that. Now, to keep us in the cat mood, let me show you some typical sketches of various breeds and poses. Now, these are done by me with pen and colored pencils, and note the different body positions here. They'll help us in our, oh, look at that. They'll help us in our drawings, all right. Now, this is a striped tabby, a very popular pet, sometimes called a tiger cat. Here we see her, and she's very content and yawning. Tabbies can be of differing colors. And there's our next pose, a very relaxed Abyssinian, becoming more popular as a pet. This is a fine short-haired breed, a very intelligent and well-behaved animal. Now, look at this beauty here. This one's a tortoise shell, also called a money cat, black and white and orangish. This pose shows the grooming with that little comb of a tongue that we talked about. And now another close-up, the face of a long-haired. This is a beautiful face, and she's a red tabby. Her long hair makes her seem larger than the regular tabby, but in truth, she's the same body size. And note those beautiful eyes there. Here's our Siamese. Sitting at attention here, a handsome cat with rippling muscles and that alert look in its blue eyes. Of all cats, the Siamese seems the most independent. Now look at this cat sharpening its claws, a striped tabby doing what all cats must do to keep their claws preened. Note the arch of the back here and the flowing lines, a typical cat pose. Now here's a beautiful favorite, the long-haired white Persian. Graceful and aloof, too, and so ladylike in her manner. She, of course, is a great favorite among cat lovers. Now, all cats' faces are interesting, and certainly no two are just alike. The two which are typical are the short-haired variety and the long-haired. Now, here are sketches to show what I mean. First, here's the short-haired cat. Take a look at the face and see if you don't think that looks like a Siamese straight too. Of course it does. If you had color television now, or if you do, you'll note that the eyes here are a very beautiful blue. And Siamese, you know, are different markings, and they come of different types. That's right. Short-haired. Now let's see the typical long-haired cat's face and look at the difference here. Here's a beautiful Persian. Yes, isn't this cat handsome? And remember that the face and the body are all the same size here, but of course hair makes a difference. And this Persian always looks as though it's a larger cat. Beautiful animals, cats. Now, back to our sketch. Take a look at yours right now. The circles and all of the detail that we put in so far. Now, you'll remember that we did spend quite a bit of time on the head. Now we're going to the forepart of the body, so we'll move to the left in our sketch. You ready? All right, now let's go right up here near the shoulder and indicate this as fairly short hair. Can you see I've come right over that circle that we started, just to that point. Now the reason for that is because of the cat's skeleton and his structure, because he's crouching, we're going to see another line that does this. Can you draw that in? And I'll bring it over here to about that point. This is going to be the cat's shoulder. Actually, in effect, shoulder here coming up to the elbow and then down to the paws. But let me show you first, before you make another line, what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this paw line down like that, sort of an in and out line, just a sketched line, and base it just about under the start here, but below this circle. Can you see that? Now imagine that the cat has lifted his arm up like that, and he's crouched down. This is what we see. But of course the cat's skeleton is a little different than mine, and so it does that. All right, now you can do that on your sketch. That line, and that line. The chest now comes down here from under the chin, just about where we started that circle, down to this point, and starts over here. You see what I've done there? All right, try that. Now this shoulder overlaps the leg. That means that we can show some of the shoulder muscles coming up to about that point. There. And when that's done, we can continue down and that way. And this sets up the paw. Now, the paw can come just under the chest and then flatten it out here on the base. And watch what I do to show you again, step 1, step 2, step 3 of getting in the cat's paw with a little detail there, flat on the ground. That's it. So we have this shoulder and arm. Now the other one will be coming right about here, close together. We can bring this paw out, flatten it down just about the same way, and then I'll work in reverse. 1 and 2 and 3. See, the fourth paw is behind. It sort of comes out round. You see that? To separate now, put a little dark there. And we see that that indeed is that other front paw with the shoulder up there and back of the body. Now we want to take this circle that's at the top and come in a little closer to the ear here and bring the back up, arch the back to that circle like that. That's the way. Arch it. We can curve it a little more, as a matter of fact, to that point. And then down here to about there, not all the way down. For now we see the area for the rear leg. And I'm just going to chart this in sort of left and right lines to come down to what will be the rear leg coming forward. Cats, you know, walk on tiptoe. Yes, this whole portion is the cat's foot, but they just walk on their toes. Now if we'll come down here, bring a line in that way, coming toward the front paw, but not all the way, and draw that brace in, and then go 1, 2, 3. We have this rear paw. Now for detail in the muscles and the hair, bring a few lines in like that. Move this line down and continue it there. And now for detail of hair. The bottom of the body would be like that, and the rear leg would be in shadow. The other rear leg coming over to about that point. Now we've set her down. I'm going to go out here with the tail. Cats' tails, of course, move all around almost all the time. It's not really true that if a cat's tail is wagging, he's angry, for all different cats have different dispositions. One cat's tail might go all the time, another wouldn't. So here, from the rear, just put a cat's tail in any position you want it. And now, again with the black crayon, I'm going to put in areas of color over the top of the shoulder. I have a cat. His name is Mai Tai, and she's a Siamese, but she's a lilac. Therefore, the front legs, way down to the paw, here. The area over the back as the cat matures. When she's young, she's almost white. And then as she matures, gray starts developing down her back, that way. And here on the face, look, around the eye, up to the nose, over the forehead and the backs of the ears, and down to the nose on the head. Now she's beginning to take shape, not only with lines, but with coloration. You color your cat any color you want. Maybe you want to make a money cat out of her, whatever you desire. But don't forget to think of the muscles and structure in her and get those lines. And don't forget eyebrows and whiskers, like that. You see it? Good. Now a little shadow here, a little black paw here, and I have some white chalk, and I'm going to start here on the head and give a little bit of highlight. I'm also going to use some blue to put in those beautiful blue eyes. My goodness, I've almost made a picture of my own cat, and practically from memory. How about that? Look at my sketch now. There it is. Another typical cat pose, really, if ever I saw one. Have you been able to draw a cat before? Never? Well, I hope yours came out well. Now, don't forget to send me one of your sketches. Perhaps you'll see it on another program. Don't go away. We're going to see more of your work in just a moment. And by folks of all ages, as I say, it continually amazes me to know that a lot of old folks are watching, too. Not necessarily old, but you know, more than just children. The ponies. Remember, too, when we discussed the ponies and the riders? Well, those were all beautiful, and look at that fellow there. the cowboy on his quarter horse, going along either before or after a long day's work on the range. Look at that, with a village in back of it, cowboy town, striped shirts, checked shirts, and again, all sorts of techniques. It doesn't matter what you draw with either. You know, any sort of a tool that you want to draw with. But look at that fellow there, beautiful in line. And here, you can draw with any kind of a tool that you wish. You might be used to a crayon or pencils or whatever. We appreciate them all. Well now, the next time we get together, we'll do more on our wonderful nature world and find out something about another creature around us. So keep those requests coming and send your pictures in. Captain Bob, whatever you do, be mighty careful. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye for now.